you'll see all sorts of plants and rock formations. It's quite a work of nature.
Let me tell you, this is like a natural air conditioning system. This cave here, this position and its depth all provide the coolness in here. And you see the drops of spring water that sort of drizzle down.
Valleys, caves, waterfalls, and canyons, they are all here. Shaoguan Mountain is popular among scientists too, as a place they can study tectonic movements, force actions, the natural environment, and ecological evolution. As we go further, we pass a unique spot known as a shot of sky. After a winding path on the mountain valley, we get to this secluded, quiet place. A shot of sky is about 200 meters long, 40 meters tall, and a mere 1 meter wide. From this view, you can only see one slither of the sky from among the deep rocks. It's easy to get lost in the mountains, but even then, that's an experience. You never know what you're going to find out in this mysterious environment. Try visiting at different times of day and in different types of weather. You can't imagine the changing aura, magnificence, seclusion, grandeur, and the serenity of the mountain. On the boat yesterday, we saw temples high above the mountains, so I decided to pay a visit to one of them, a Buddhist nunnery in fact, Linxian. The environment here is spectacular. The temple appears to be hanging over a river in an enormous cave. Back in the early 11th century, monks discovered the strange rock caves and were amazed by their beauty. The monks then soon built temples and brought religious items here.
I think I know, finally, why they decided to build this Buddhist nunnery above the mountains and alongside the waters and the rocks. Well, think about it. It's so quiet. All you hear are the sounds of birds chanting. The perfect place for these women to relax and think deeply about the sutras.
In 1981, the nunnery was renovated, and now plenty of people climb up here to pray while visitors come just to look. Buddhism is quite alien to me, but the aura here is infectious. Resting high above the world, it's easy to forget about all those worldly affairs. Instead, you find yourself just focusing on the inner spirit. Dansha Mountain is one of those things that you see and wonder, how on earth? Next, we head to Lechang County, 54 kilometers north of Shaoguan City. Lechang has long been known as a county with a wealth of vegetation. In the landscape, everything is carpeted with a blanket of green, and even the waters reflect the same hue. Our first stop is Longwangtan, which is 23 kilometers from central Lechang. Here, lakes, mountains, and hot springs make it a rarity in Guangdong province. You'll find plants and insects that you've never seen before.
Look at that. layers and layers of different vegetation. And who knows what kinds of animal species are tucked away underneath the trees. And from the tops of the mountain, you can see the water just rushing down under the rocks. Just listen to that sound, and you'll know what I'm talking about. I don't need to say anymore.
The area is rich in water, and besides the waterfalls, there are entertainment activities, just like drifting. Lechang is the most famous place in China for drifting. You need to get a few people together in order to get a boat, and the price goes down to around 150 per person. It's 3 to 4 hours of excitement. Our next stop here is Buddha Rock. It is an ancient, large-scale limestone cave with stalactites and stalagmites formed naturally. Inside the cool underground cave, the temperatures range around 19 to 20 degrees Celsius year-round.
If you didn't know better, you might think you were back to the land of the dinosaurs, or rather, maybe an underground palace or a dungeon, because it is actually very cold in here. And what's amazing is if you look around, you'll see the drops of water that are dripping down because of the cold temperature. And now these rocks are not your typical rocks. They've been around for over hundreds of thousands of years. And in that time have taken some unique and strange shapes. What shapes exactly are they? Well, everyone has a different opinion.
The cave is in the west of Lechang County, 5 kilometers away from the center and 54 kilometers away from the urban area of Shaoguan. The cave is filled with what seems to be stone flowers, stone posts, curtains, and a variety of Buddhism-related formations. What does this look like to you? Well, under the lighting here, this structure is a moon hanging over the mountains. We've seen so much diversity of the natural environment, so now we'll change things and experience the lives of the different people here. 56 kilometers southwest of Shaoguan City in the Ruyuan Yao Autonomous County is Bibei Yao Village. Here we can truly appreciate their folk customs and culture.
After 2 hours of twisty mountain paths, we finally reached the Yao village, and I hope they're ready for some visitors.
The Yao are a festive people, and they're so hospitable that our arrival meant a warm welcome.
Oh, okay, well, we're greeted with a token of, I guess, of welcome and a big bowl of alcohol. You don't have much choice here, so here's to the Yao village.
Everyone is handed a big bowl before entering the village. And although they won't make you drink if you refuse, it's really just the local custom that you do. And they will be very delighted. No surprise, lifestyles here are very different. The mountain is their home, and the surrounding environment provides them with everything they need.
Wow. You see, these local buildings here, and the people, the villagers, the chickens and hens running around, little children here and there, they sort of remind you of the traditional type of lifestyle here, high above in the mountains. People use the natural resources to build their homes, and also a unique way of life.
People here still preserve elements of their traditional lifestyle. Just look at these women's clothing, and you know that they are masters of embroidery. All their clothing are handmade, and their delicate designs can be purchased today by tourists, but the prices aren't cheap. So So what are these men doing? Nowadays, dances are performed at festivals and also on special days to welcome guests into their village. The dance is an encyclopedia of the people's history, as it tells some sort of story about their past. Or rather, it's a religious ritual. Now we head north for 2 hours to the Guangdong Grand Canyon in Dabu town. It's the most awe-inspiring sight I've ever seen. The canyon is 15 kilometers long, or 300 meters deep, and 200 to 300 meters wide. The surrounding area is fertile and rich with wildlife. Unfortunately, it was raining the day I went, and we did try to go down to the canyon, but we realized that it was really impossible, especially with our equipment.
Wow. If you thought flying an airplane was the only way to go through the clouds, take a look over here. It seems like after the rain, the mist sort of just flows up and builds up into a big puff of smoke almost. It's like we're roaming through the skies. Also poetic in nature.
From far away, it looks like a huge ditch, but after getting close, you realize how mind-boggling the canyon actually is. Its sides cut deep down and the water crashes. Any words I can use to describe it seem infinitely dull in comparison to this magnificent sight. For only 35 yuan, it's a pretty spectacular thing. If you want to explore the entire canyon, it will take around 3 days, but for a quick view, a few hours will be enough to go up and down. Green, carefree, vivacious can all be used to describe this city. Come to Shaoguan to see the world in its most pristine state and leave feeling satisfied and more complete.
You see, it doesn't matter whether it's a sunny day or there's drizzling rain. Shaoguan is a place that never ceases to captivate us. And all it takes are a few days here, and you'll know what it really means to be relaxed and at ease with nature. But that's all for me to say and for you to find out. So, I'm Yin, and see you in Shaoguan.